Mm. Let me. Oh my gosh. Oh wait. God, I thought it was broke. I was like, what? Oh my God. YouTube takes forever to notify y'all. Like, my goodness. Let me know if it's too noisy. Like, if you can hear the traffic. Can y'all hear the traffic? Let me know. Let me know. I know. Good morning. How are y'all doing today? Good morning. We got our workout in. I love y'all. I don't know. It's been helping my mental health to wake up early, work out, be nothing, get the sun. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just helping my mental health, y'all. And I need the girls to buckle down because this winter, and I'm talking to the girls that struggle in the wintertime because I'm a girlie that struggles in the wintertime. Are you preparing, sis? Are you prepared? The walks have been helping. Listen, I got this weighted vest. It's been helping. The walks, the long walks like Jill Scott. It's been helping me. So prepare now. Like make sure you got your plan in place so you don't slip into a dark space. Because girl, you know how I get in the winter. Mm, you don't want to leave the house. You don't want to do nothing. Just have like a set routine in place that can help with that darkness because I know all too well what that darkness is. Y'all see what I be talking about? Let me close that. That's too much. But yeah, the walks have been helping. Um, the workout classes have been helping to have somewhere to go to be accountable. I have ClassPass, and if you cancel, it's $14 fee. I'm not paying that $14 fee. So once I book that class, I'm going. I don't like wasting money. It triggers my financial trauma as a child. Like I don't like wasting money. So I'm gonna go. I'm not paying $14. And a lot of that's not a big deal. Yes, the hell it is. That's $14 I could have kept in my pocket. I need that type of accountability. I do. I really do. Cause I had to cancel a class. It hurt. And I was like, damn, 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 damn. So no, we not skipping classes. It's $14. We going, we showing up. Right. $14 for nothing. But then no. ClassPass, they charge you your monthly plus the cancellation fee of $14. Absolutely not. So I need that type of accountability. And when I spend money, it has to make sense. And I'm talking about my money. When I spend other people's money, it don't have to make sense. But when it's me, my money, it has to make sense. I'm not wasting $14. Okay. Mm-mm. Well, today I wanted to talk about. Listen, I feel like people are missing my point with Charleston White and Nicki Minaj. So I did a live stream yesterday. I think the girls are missing the bigger picture. So let me make myself clear. All of your rap girlies, all of your faves are trash. Okay? Name one rap girly that's not problematic. And listen, Sweetie, she was on the list until she said that dumb shit about, what did she say? She said some dumb shit about What did she say? She said pretty girl punishment or something like that. And I was like, no, 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 gotta be a rap girly. She said pretty girl punishment. And I was like, girl, you are not being punished. This has to be a rap girly. You're not being punished because you're pretty. You're not talented. I'm sorry. All right. You're just not talented. And Dolce is problematic, y'all. She I what did she do? She did something. Was it the Met Gala? I didn't like how she was talking to her team. Like, it was too much. I no. Okay, so I don't really know much about what is her name. How do you say it? Manano? I don't know how to say her name. But listen, I love her latest song. Okay, I don't know much about her relationship or anything like that. She seems like a great girl, like honestly. I like Ken the man, but I already know she's problematic. I could just tell by her lyrics. I could tell by her lyrics. Um Glorilla, I could see Glorilla so far. I don't think she's really said anything, done anything. Oh, okay, it's Mana Leo. Okay. I've never I've heard some of her stuff, but I haven't really listened to it like consistently and stuff like that. But all the dolls are problematic. Hell, even Doja Cat is problematic. Doja Cat is problematic. When she was in the chat rooms, I was like, you're weird. So I don't really know a rap girly that's not really that problematic. Like Rico Nasty, I don't really know that much about her, but my point gives there are more problematic female rappers than there are non-problematic female rappers. When we speak on character, when we speak on integrity, there's not that many. Like we can all agree it's slim pickings out here. So my point was when it came to the Nicki and Cardi situation is I'm pointing out the contradictions. Why is this important? Because predators see that. And a lot of women never want to look at the bigger picture because it requires them to be responsible. It requires them to be accountable. If you are sitting up here trying to hold Nicki accountable and hold Nicki to a certain standard, why are you not doing the same for Cardi? Because a lot of women are like, well, Cardi, no, Nicki married a predator. Nicki defended a predator. So did Cardi. Like, I'm confused. She literally went on Twitter X to address her pregnancy drama because that's when all of the shit started coming out about Stefan. And she defended him when it came to the R allegation, the rape allegation that's against him regarding another man, not another woman. This is a rape allegation against another man. She defended him publicly on Twitter X, dismissing the allegation claims. This was exposed on Tasha K. So when y'all say things like oh, I'm holding Nicki accountable for the things that she's done. They've literally both done the same thing. I find it odd that it's very convenient for women to overlook the fact that Cardi talked about Nicki's kid too, and said that that boy was nonverbal, and that his favorite color is the number 5. And you want to know why Nicki and Cardi trigger each other so fucking bad? It's because they marry each other. Any spiritualists out here can see why they trigger each other so bad. It's because they marry each other. Corey LeRae, she's problematic too. Her baby daddy alone, that's problematic as fuck. That man looks like he crawled out of a dumpster. He looks like a gremlin. Like I'm just, why would you, like, seriously, what the hell? Koi, like, girl, I was shocked by that. Like, I would have rather see. I could have sworn I would see Koi with a woman before somebody like that. I was like really shocked. I'm like, she's such a pretty girl. Why the hell she ended up with somebody like that? But then you look at the Mariah scientist of the world, and you look at Young Thug, and you're like, what the fuck? Listen, a lot of your faves are problematic. Like, that's just the truth, right? So if you're going to defend a woman because you feel like she has better character, she has integrity, that is a fat ass fucking lie. Like, the only difference between these two women is one is Hispanic, one speaks Spanish, and the other is black. Like, literally, that's really the only difference. Just one is a black woman. That's it. They literally have done the same thing. So my thing is, because I've said this, Nicki is trash. She's a good rapper. She's the best. That's facts. All right. She don't be fighting with the beat. Right? She don't. She switches up her flow. Like, who's doing that shit? Your fave Meg can't even do that. No shade. We speaking facts. Don't get in your feelings. Megan can't even switch up her flow. Nicki can. That is the reason why she has always done well. Okay? Because she can switch it up. Your other faves, your other rap girlies, they can't. Like, that's just a fact, y'all. When we talk about talent, right? Personal life, they're all a mess. Every single last one of them. But my thing is, if we're going to make it personal and make it about character and make it about integrity, you are a contradiction. Why is this important to point out? Not because of rap, not because I fucking care about celebrities. I don't give a fuck about these celebrities. They don't pay my bills like that. They don't care about me. They don't care about my life. The reason why I care is because, do you not understand? Men are clocking you on this. You are aware that they're sitting back, and they will literally openly say, this generation of women are cooked. Why would they be saying that? Because they're sitting back and they're watching you be a contradiction. They're studying you be a contradiction. A predator like Charleston White is watching you be a contradiction, is watching black women be a contradiction. He knows how to leverage that. Do you not understand that you're readable, you're clockable, you're predictable? That's bad for business. You're now unprotected. You're now easy to manipulate. You're now easy to take advantage of. You're now easy to play with because you are now overexposing your contradictions to the point where a predator like Charleston White sees, oh, all I have to do is get her to like me. All I have to do is get her to like me more. And she'll go back on everything. She'll go back on integrity. She'll go back on good character. She'll go back on morals, her morals. She'll go back on her standards. Do you not understand men are clocking that? Do you not understand predators are clocking that? And then women will come on social media and be like, I don't understand. Like, he played me. He switched up. Like, I just don't understand. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You liked him. That was it. You had chemistry. That was it. It does not take much. Men see that. Predators study before they approach their prey. You have to be smarter than that. And yes, it's this deep because men study, predators study before they approach a woman. So even when it comes to something as surface level and honestly childish and stupid as celebrity fucking gossip, they're still sitting back and studying you. Hello? Hello? They're like, oh, if she likes me good enough, like some of you like Cardi good enough, You're willing to overlook obvious contradictions within her character. You're willing to overlook obvious issues. You're willing to overlook certain things. You don't like Nikki good enough. That's the only difference. You don't like her good enough. But if you like someone good enough, you're willing to bend and fold on your standards. You're readable, you're clockable, you're predictable, and you're easy to read. You're exposing yourself, sis. That's what I'm getting at. I don't give a damn about Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. I'm always looking at the bigger picture because men study you. That's what they do. And if I'm teaching you discernment, I'm not looking at things just surface level. I'm always looking at things from a bird's eye view. And predators study every little detail about you. Don't think they not, because they are. They study every little detail. And the reason why predators are able to prey on certain women 9 times out of 10 is because they don't know who they are. And a predator has studied you better than you know yourself. That's what this is about. They've studied you better than you know yourself. And you know what they do with that? They weaponize that and they use that against you. So even when it comes to this celebrity situation, right? They're studying you from a position where they know you better than you know yourself. Like, to the point where I'm literally pointing it out to you right now. And the only reason I know this is because I've been preyed on a lot in my life. I've had things within my character. This is why it's so important as a woman for you to work on yourself. Like, we talk about shadow work all the time, right? That's what we do. We talk about shadow work. Thank you, Afro Butterfly, for cleaning up the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We literally have to work on ourselves because these are loopholes that predators can easily slide in, and we are not even aware of it because we don't know ourselves in the ways that people may study us looking from the outside looking in. Like, that's just a fact. That is just a freaking fact. So that's what this is about for me. Like, it's truly exposing the contradiction in women that often leads to women overlooking obvious red flags, obvious issues, obvious inconsistencies that eventually comes back on you. And who's losing? You are. You're losing. You're losing. And you're always going to lose because you're too readable. I'm sorry. Like, you will, and my father taught me this. You will never be able to fight a man. You just won't. You won't. 9 times out of 10, he will always be stronger than you. And I'm talking fist to fist. Okay? You will never be able to fight a man, but you can outsmart one, though. And you can't outsmart a man when you're overexposing yourself by being a contradiction. Okay? You can't. You're too readable, you're overexposed, and your moves are easily to predict. Your moves are so obvious. So too obvious to where you're leaving yourself unprotected as a woman. That's not smart. So this is why it's important as a woman for you not to be a hypocrite. I'm just being honest. For you not to be a hypocrite, for you not to be a contradiction. Because I'm telling you, if a predator is preying on you, right? If he is preying on you and he's watching you and he's seeing how you make exceptions over here, you're willing to make exceptions over here. But over here, you're standing firm, that he knows over here, if he can get you in a position to let your guard down, because he knows it will come down. You just showed him. You just showed the predator I'm not trying to say men. I'm actually trying to say predator, but I keep saying men. But I'm really saying predator. If you're not a fucking predator, all right, then this should not offend you. If you're getting in your fucking feelings as a fucking man, you're a weirdo. Grow up. Because when we look at what's going on in the world, who's doing it? Majority of the time, men. Women are not on the news like that. Like, if we were on the news, I could understand. Are there predator women out here? Of course. Of course. So I'm trying to say predator. My intention is to say predator. Okay? So, and listen, let them troll in the chat box. Let them get my engagement up. Thank you for being here, by the way. Let them get my engagement up because they're helping me get pushed out into the algorithm. But my point is, ladies, that when you are a hypocrite and when you are a contradiction, you are predictable. You are making yourself predictable. You are making yourself readable. You're making yourself clockable, which means you're not protecting yourself. And you don't think it's a big deal, but you have to understand predators study before they approach. And if they see any type of inconsistencies within you, within the way you walk, within the way you talk, within the way you show up, within the way you carry yourself, they're going to weaponize that and use it against you. So a predator like Charleston White clocked that, called you out on it, which should be embarrassing because a predator like Charleston White called that out. And here, Nathan is in the chat saying most women are predictable. And they know this. They literally know this and they use it against you all the time. So y'all are trying to make it about Nicki and Cardi. It's really not about that. It's about the fact that you are a contradiction. If you like somebody a little bit more, you're willing to fold, bend on your standards. This is what you're willing to do. And men see that. They see that. So understand, like, that's what this is about. Like, it's not about Cardi and all of that. Like, if we speak about talent, I'm gonna always say Nicki because that's just facts. All right, it's just facts. If we're gonna speak facts on talent, when it comes to rap, it's going to be Nicki Minaj. When we speak on character and integrity, they're both trash. They mirror each other. There is a mirroring that goes on between them to the point where they trigger each other in the worst ways. So what I need women to understand is, if you're going to stand firm on something, stand firm on it. Because as soon as you start backpedaling, as soon as you start switching up, and we talking about over character, men study that, they see that. Predators study that and they see that, and they fit in where they can get in. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to fit in exactly where they can get in, and they're going to weaponize that, and they're going to use that against you. That is my point when it comes to this Nicki and this Cardi situation. That really is my only point. That's my only point. Cardi is good at other things. She's not good at rap. I'm sorry. She has some catchy phrases that are written by other men. But and there was one song, y'all, and this is when I was like, oh, I gotta turn this off. I don't know if it was like the song with Summer Walker or one of the songs where she was like, um, these hoes suck my D, and when they see me, their hair is in a bun. And I was like, I know a man wrote that shit. I know you didn't write that. I know a man wrote that for you, and you are just rapping it. I had to turn it off. I had to turn it off. When I heard that, I was like, and I was like, no, I'm not listening to that. I'm not listening to that. You're telling me she came up with that? No, a man wrote that, and it goes something like that. If I could find the lyrics, I'll post the lyrics, but it goes like something like that. And I was like, I know a man wrote that. I'm sorry, Cardi is good at other things. She has personality and she needs to play more into that, like acting, okay? Like improv or something like that. She would be great at that. She would be amazing at that. She could even have her own reality show where it's just her, her family, and her kids. She would be amazing at that. She could even host her own talk show. She would be amazing at that. She would be amazing at things that she could really show her personality. It's just not rap, y'all. I'm sorry. Like, I couldn't even get into it. And I tried to play it. But you know who else I couldn't really get into? I couldn't even get into Bryson Tiller, y'all. Did anybody listen to Bryson Tiller's album that he put out? Maybe I need to go through and listen through it again. Like, you know how you listening to something for the first time and you're like, maybe I need to give it a second listen. Yeah, he has an album. I couldn't find one song on the album that I'm like, oh, I like this song. I couldn't find one song. What happened to Bryson Tiller? Because this is not just let me beat down on Cardi. Like, no, like this is just, I like music. Shit. I love music. I love good music. I love good music. So even when it came to Bryson Tiller, I was like, and he had like a 2 diss track type of album. I could not find, y'all. I went through every song like, oh, let me find one song. Let me find one song. Bryson is a predator too. I'm like, let me find one song. Let me find one song. I couldn't find one song. I couldn't find one freaking song. So that's my first time hearing that he was a predator. But this is my other thing too when it comes to black women. Because let me call out another contradiction. Y'all will sit up and support Diddy, right? But draw the line with Nicki Minaj. Listen, I'ma always stand 10 toes on what I believe. Y'all already know how I feel about Diddy. I don't need to go into detail about it. Like, it amazes me the passes black women give to certain people. Like, honestly, it really does. Like, it amazes me. Cause to me, it's all the same. It's all the same. What I witnessed on Twitter was two women having a nasty, dark, mean spirit. And it was all about who could stoop the lowest and win nothing. Like, it was stupid. As a grown ass woman, I'm not stooping to the lowest. I'm not stooping to the pits of hell to do what? To prove what? I don't have shit to prove when it comes to the pits of hell. I have nothing to prove. It was disgusting to involve children, period. It was disgusting when Cardi involved a woman's fertility. That shit was weird as fuck. And then people are like, oh, Cardi likes women. I don't think she does. She calls y'all fat bitches. She attacks a woman's fertility. How can a woman that likes women attack those type of things when you already know how hard it is to be a woman? The shit was low vibrational, all around. Nikki too. Like, I couldn't believe she sat there and attacked culture like that. That was disgusting. But I also couldn't believe Cardi was attacking Papa Bear, saying he's nonverbal and his favorite color is the number 5. Like, it was just low vibrational, and it was all about who could stoop the lowest. And when it comes to women with nasty spirits like that, they're competing in hell. Like, they're not competing from a vibrational place, a high vibrational place. They're competing from the pits of hell. It was whack. It was mean. It was hateful. It was disgusting. So to me, it's all the same. Even with Diddy, the things that he was into, dark, dark, just dark, 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 nothing but darkness. And you got people, you got the Christians, you got the spiritualists, you got all these people defending the pits of hell. Like, this dark, low vibrational energy. Why? Because they're celebrities? It's all demonic to me. Like there used to, I don't know, maybe I'm old school, but there used to be a time where we never involved children. Like children were off limits, y'all. Children were off limits. I feel like now more than ever, children are the most unprotected now. It doesn't matter if it's in school, it doesn't matter if it's online. Like I've seen grown adults attack Kim Kardashian's daughter, attack Shy. Like kids are not off limits. Like what happened to that? That's why I'm just like I'm a woman, and part of being a nurturer is you are protective of children. Like, right? Like that's our place. That's our job as women. We can't protect, right, men in a sense unless it's spiritual, right? Unless it's like through prayer, right? But like we can't physically protect a man, right, against other men. But children, that's our job. Like that's our place. And it's just like we talk about how women are so unprotected, black women are so unprotected, but so are these kids. We expose them to just any and everything nowadays. We adult, like it's like adultification. Like it's like we're pushing them to grow up faster than really what they probably should. It's like what are we talking about? Like the culture, we're not protecting them in the culture that we are upholding as women, because again, that's our responsibility. We're the ones that set the tone in the culture, because these kids are in our home, right? So we're responsible for that. They're not protected, y'all. And that's another thing that kind of was exposed to me recently with this whole Nicki and Cardi. Like just both trash to me on both sides, to the point where I couldn't take a side. I couldn't take a side at all. I would just feel dirty. Like honestly, I feel dirty as fuck because I don't play about kids. I feel like kids are my responsibility, and I don't even have kids, but kids are still my responsibility because we are a community. So no, like if I take Nikki's side, then I'm leaving who undefended and unprotected? Culture, wave, blossom. If I take Cardi's side, then who am I leaving unprotected? Papa Bear. I don't fucking play about kids. You get what I'm saying? But that's me being principled and not a contradiction. So there's no side to take. Man, that when I tell you that was disgusting, and it's gonna be interesting to see what brands partner with Nicki and what brands partner with Cardi. But Cardi has sympathy. Why? She doesn't claim her blackness. People keep saying, well, she's black, she's black. She don't claim it though. She don't claim it. She don't claim it. She don't claim it. I'm sorry, she don't claim it. Show me where she's actually claimed her blackness. I've never seen it. She always separates herself from her blackness. That's what I've seen her do, like with roaches, monkeys, stuff like that. Because another thing too, this is just intelligence. If you view yourself as black, you wouldn't be calling people monkeys and roaches. You just wouldn't, because you see yourself as black, right? Like it's intelligence. Like you see yourself as black. You don't use that type of language. You don't use that type of verbiage because you see yourself as black, unless you are dealing with self-hatred. So it's just all around, like it's just not a good look. That's not the language that a black person would ever freaking use. And listen, I understand that she's black, but she does not claim it. It's about what she does not claim. Hell, Meghan Markle claims her blackness. Cardi does not. Like that. Do you get that's the difference? It's not about if she's black or not. It's about her claiming her blackness. So that's what I'm saying. Like y'all are confusing someone that really just presents herself in black culture based off of being just ratchet and ghetto, and then associating that with blackness and assuming that she sees herself as black when she doesn't. And I personally don't agree with that, because I'm like, blackness is not ghetto and ratchet. Like, blackness is a monolith. It can be ghetto and ratchet. It can be, but it can be class. It could be black excellence. It could be education. It can be a master's degree. Like, it can be intelligence. It could be a lot of different things. But I noticed that it's like people associate her ghetto persona, vocabulary, behavior with her claiming to be black. She's never claimed that shit. She's never done it. So, talk about the baddies culture. The baddies culture is dying. Are y'all seeing that? It's collapsing. I always knew it was. I just didn't think I was going to see it in my lifetime. As a black woman that did not fall into, because I always talk about this, uh, when it comes to black people, when you come into this world, you have two choices. As a black man, you can be an educated lame, or you could be a thug. As a black woman, you can be a bad bitch, or you could be a school book girl. Those are your options. Why are those your options? Because those are the images that we see growing up. If you watch BET, if you listen to music, you have two choices. If you're a black man, you either have to choose between being a thug and an educated lame. If you're a black woman, you have to choose between being a book girl, okay, or a bad bitch. Now, of course, you could be both, right? Like, I've seen it. I've seen educated lames be thugs. I've actually met thugs that are smart, intelligent. They just make stupid choices. I've also seen bad bitches that are very intelligent. They just make bad choices. I've seen the crossover. But then when we speak about just image, typically you fall under one of those categories based off of what? Choice, but also aesthetics. So the bad bitch, that shit is dying. Even the thug is dying because a lot of these thugs are turning gay. The bad bitches are going broke. The bad bitches are coming to the realization that there's no retirement plan. That I've wasted my I won't even say my good years, because I feel like with a woman with age, you get wiser. So you become valuable with age. But I've wasted a lot of my time on surface level things when I could have been investing in myself to where with age I could actually be valuable to someone like myself. Doesn't have to be a man, like to be valuable to yourself to the point where you're not online, Brittany Renner, begging a man to increase your monthly child support to 30,000, from 5,000 to 30,000, just so you can make a good living. That's what we're witnessing. Like, I keep trying to tell it. And listen, I always knew, I always knew that there was no retirement plan in the whole bad bitch space, simply because it was based off of male validation, the approval of what men like. Men are too unpredictable. Like, they're too unpredictable to base your whole life on male validation. So you should have known that that shit was very short lived. Like, when I think of a bad bitch, I think of a man that plays in the NFL. You have a good 6 years at best. And that 6 years is at best. And when I say 6 years, like, you have to be as good as a Cam Newton. And even the NFL didn't even call his ass back. Remember when Cam was up on his podcast? Well, he was on some NFL podcast, and he was talking about, yeah, they didn't call me back. It's because you're 35, and 35 is still young, Cam. 35 is still young. Don't get it twisted. Just like a bad bitch at 30, you're still young, sis. It's just when we talk about the industry in which you were in, your time is up. And a lot of women and men, I've literally seen it. Y'all, there's this one man. I saw him at the grocery store, and he tried to talk to me, and I played them to the left because he's tacky. He's tacky. He is just a fucking mess, honestly. So he this is when he rubbed me the wrong way, was when he was like, "Oh, you shouldn't be like that. Like, you need to let you're too hard. You have a harder exterior." And I told him, I'm like, "So I challenge you. I'm not easy." That was my response. "So you're frustrated. Got it. That shit ain't gonna work on me. Oh, you should let your guard down. You should let someone in and take care of you. Da, da, da. So I'm not easy. Got it." That's all I heard. I ain't hear nothing else. I'm like, "I'm not easy. You're frustrated. You're mad because it actually takes work to talk to me. And you're used to women falling at your feet because you know some people, you have connections with certain people, you have a little money, you got a little something going on. Like, so I'm just supposed to just fall at your knees? Get the hell out of here with that." Like, I'm not impressed by that type of stuff. Like, I'm just not impressed by that type of stuff. So my point with this though is, this man is tacky. Like, this is a washed up, how old, he has to be closer to 50. And I swear, y'all, I swear, this man dresses like he's a part of Run DMC. He still thinks in his mind that he's still in his prime. Like, he wears these tacky ass sweatsuits. I kid you not. Like, it's the 80s, y'all. And then, like, his pants legs, I swear, I'm not making this up. He hikes up his pants legs on his sweatsuit. Where's these like tube socks? It's a fucking mess. And I'm just like, "Sir, your glory days are over with. You need to dress like a grown fucking man. You are not in Run DMC. This is not the 80s. The 80s was like almost like 3 decades ago. Like, sir, stop." I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. So he living 30 years behind. And I'm just like, "Sir, that is not attractive." So as much as these men be going in on these women, I can go in on these men too. It's both. Like, grown adults have not evolved at all. Women, men, tacky, living in the past, still living like they're in high school, college, or their glory days, looking tacky or looking a fucking mess, whether it's in their how they dress, how they behave, how they communicate, their lack of emotional intelligence, their lack of critical thinking. And like I said, ladies, making a mistake in life doesn't make you a loser. Making a mistake in life does not make you a loser. It makes you human. But when you consistently make poor choices and decisions, you're a loser. You lost at life because there was no pivot for you. There was no shift. There was no change. There was no nothing. And you become a loser over time. Like, you really do. This is why this man, like, he really thinks he's a part of Run DMC. This is why Brittany Renner is on social media begging her baby daddy, who is married, who started a family, is begging this man to pay more in child support because she wants the life that his wife has, and she's jealous of that. And she thought that that was going to be her. But see, the thing about Brittany Renner, it was cool when you was the girl that that man was out here dealing with, right? While he had a girlfriend or when he had a wife. Ooh, the bad bitches get karma too. So that's what a lot of the girls not understanding, right? Like Brittany used to be the other woman. She talks about it in her book. She talks about it in her book. She used to be the other woman. And then she got into a relationship with PJ Washington, got cheated on. She found out, I think her name was like Tina or something like that. She found out that PJ Washington was watching corn, and she found a receipt or she found a statement or something like that. And she found out that he was watching one of her close friends. And they actually look alike. What is her name, y'all? Is it Tina or is it, I don't know, but she's like a corn star or something like that, or OnlyFans girl or something like that. And so she found out that he had been paying. That's what broke their relationship for those. Tina Trump, that's what broke their relationship, if you didn't know. But the gag is, Brittany, you used to be that other woman though. So you thought when you settled down and you wanted the whole family life because you were in love and you wanted to have kids and everything, you thought, and you thought wrong, you played your cards wrong, and you found out, and she couldn't get past it. She couldn't get past the fact that he was sitting, because they were close. Tina Trump, they were close, y'all. They were like close. They even looked alike. It was very weird. Like that was like a friend of hers. And so she just couldn't get past it. And that's what broke their relationship down. So, ladies, you can't be going around playing the other woman for I don't know how long and then switch over to the other side and then think that you're not going to have to worry about all that other stuff that you was out here doing prior to you making that change and making that switch. Yeah, he was watching her friend and he had lied about it. She found like a receipt, or no, I think she found like a bank statement or something like that, and she saw the transaction. And she confronted him about it a second time and caught him in a lie. The same thing with Dre and Michelle. Y'all seeing all of these women like dead ass just fucking struggle. Like you're seeing them struggle. You're seeing them struggle. So even when it comes to the thugs and the educated lames with black men, and then the book girlies and the bad bitches, think about longevity when you're making that choice about what path you want to take. There's no longevity when it comes to being a thug. Just not. There's no longevity when it comes to strictly just being a bad bitch. In my opinion, I feel like you can be both. But you can't just be all looks. Like you have to be brains too. Like you do. You have to utilize your brain, because Brittany is not dumb. Like Brittany, if you actually listen to her and you listen to her talk, she's very intelligent. She is. She's capable. You know how you meet some people and it's like they're not capable, like they just gonna be dumb and slow. She's capable. She just really used her appearance, like she used her racially ambiguous privilege, and it landed her nowhere for real. Like it didn't really get her that far. It did not really get her that far. So what I'm saying, ladies, is it is better to be a powerhouse. It is better to be both beauty and brains. It is better to be strict within your morals, principles, standards, requirements. It is best for you to love yourself truly from the inside out, not only based in when you compare yourself to other people and other women. It is best for you to be a powerhouse and for you to level up in all areas of your life, not just not just looks, not just looks. So it is best for you to put in work in all areas, including emotional intelligence. Why? It will make you a better communicator. It will make you a better self regulator when it comes to your emotions, your nervous system. You will be a peaceful woman, not only for others, but for yourself. I see so many women, and I can tell they're at war with themselves. They don't know peace. And to the men that are watching, it's easy to spot a woman from a mile away that does not have peace in her life. You don't got to sleep with her. She's at war with herself. She's conflicted. This is why when it comes to the girlies, Nicki and Cardi, they're conflicted. They're confused. Those are the type of women that are at war with themselves. Why? They don't know themselves. They don't know themselves well enough. They don't know themselves truly in and out. They only know themselves based off of, well, I like this celebrity and that's it. They don't know themselves though. Women that know themselves are at peace with themselves. Because when you know yourself, you accept yourself. Most women don't know themselves because they don't want to accept who they are. And the reason why most women struggle with this is because they don't like what they see. And instead of them improving what they don't like, they run from it. How is that a woman that's truly at peace with herself? She's not. She's not at peace. And she will never be at peace until she knows herself and she accepts herself. And the peace that she carries, she gave to herself first before she could extend that to anyone else. It's always within and then without. So if you see that she don't have peace within herself, she will never be able to offer you peace at all. And ladies, when it comes to you vetting for friends, you want a girlfriend, you want a girlfriend that pours, that gives, and it's equal. Well, that's the number one thing that you need to look for in a friendship. Is she comfortable in her skin? Is she secure within herself? Does she know who she is? Does she have a victimhood mentality? Victimhood mentality women don't know peace. They're victims. Victims, always triggered, always unstable. It's just facts. It's not to dismiss what they've gone through or their experiences. It's just facts. They're not in a healthy place. So they're not going to be able to offer you peace at all. So I need women to understand that. Like a lot of the girls are like, I don't understand what shadow work is. Shadow work is finding yourself. It's finding yourself. It's knowing who you are. And it doesn't matter what age you are. Like you could be 50 years old. You could be 50 because I'm gonna tell you right now, young girls, especially back in the day, they weren't taught to find themselves, to know themselves, to really even love themselves. It was all about being of service or of servitude to others. So it's never too late to take the time out of your life. I don't care where you are, what point you are in your life, to really like get comfortable and find yourself. I really don't. Like, I don't care. And I feel like it's a lifelong journey. Romanticize it. Make it fun. Make it interesting. And make it an experience. Like travel. Try different cultures. Try different languages. Try different groups of people. Like just explore. Don't put any limitations on yourself because you're finding yourself. Don't put any limitations on music. Don't put any limitations on food. Don't put any limitations on hobbies. Don't put any limitations on physical activities. Don't put any limitations on art, creativity. So it doesn't matter where you are if you're still in that phase of really trying to find yourself. And I feel like you go through different phases, right? Like I feel like a prime example is Tracy Ellis Ross, right? She's at a point where she knows herself well enough, but she's still getting to know herself though. Because I do feel like it's a lifelong experience. I don't think that you get to a point in your life where you know yourself, oh, that's it. There's always new things that you can discover about yourself. You just need to get to a point where you know yourself well enough. And some women just don't know themselves well enough. And sometimes when you go through massive shifts in your life, like it could be graduating high school, graduating college, getting married, having kids, you have to learn yourself because now you shifted into a new space within your life. So there's a different version of yourself that you have to learn and get familiar with and get comfortable with. Like, who are you in this new space in your life? Who are you in this new phase in your life? And then you can improve, well, what version of myself do I like more in this new phase, in this new space? This is how you do shadow work. Like, shadow work intertwines right into knowing yourself and learning yourself and truly understanding yourself. And I talked about this in my Patreon video yesterday when I was doing my test live. And even though it's a test live, you still should watch. It's a test live, but it's still a good watch because I talked about how when you have a light about yourself and you have an aura about yourself, you typically struggle with acceptance because your light irritates people. And I literally said the reason why it irritates people is because you have a light. You have a powerful aura. Like, there's a power presence in your energy when you step into certain spaces and places with people and you trigger their darkness. I mean, imagine, right? Let's picture it for a sec. You walk into a dark room. You walk into a dark room. Your light and your light is now shining and brightening up the place. Now, some people will not mind it. Some people will love it. Some people will be inspired by it. But other people will be like, can you turn that light off? Can you dim that down a little bit? That's too bright. It's too much. It's just too much. Turn that shit off. Yeah. Turn it down. Dim it. Something. Damn. Now, why are these people like this? Because you triggered their darkness. 9 times out of 10, people don't like to deal with their shadow side. They don't. They don't. You come in, and what is a light, right? In my experience with being a light is I tend to live my life a certain type of way. I tend to make certain choices and decisions that are not popular. I tend to do things in my own unique way, and it always tends to work out for me. I don't really do what everyone else does. I don't really just follow the crowd. I really do my own thing. And because of that, right, and it works for me, my light shines while doing that, but it shines light on people making different choices and decisions. And then those choices and decisions don't really work out for them, or it doesn't really benefit them. So they see my light and they see how I do things and how I make certain choices and decisions and how it works for me. So then they start to look at themselves like, I don't understand why everything always works out for her. I don't understand why everything just seems to go so well for her. And see, the takeaway isn't for them to feel bad about themselves. The takeaway is for them to do shadow work about why they're feeling the way that they feel when they see things work out for me when it comes to my own choices and decisions versus when it comes to them when they make their own choices and decisions. Because we all have the power to make our own choices and decisions. But they don't do that. They project on me like, oh, she thinks she's all that. She thinks she's perfect. She thinks she knows it all. Meanwhile, I'm just over here trying to figure this shit the fuck out because this is life. Ain't no manual script out here when it comes to life. There isn't. And then their refusal, right, when it comes to their darkness, their refusal to do some introspection, like they don't want to see themselves. They don't want to look inward. They refuse to do that. Because of that, they project it onto me because that's something that they don't want to deal with. They don't want to do the introspection. So you know what they do? They project their insecurities onto you, and they try to dim your light with it. And these are the type of people that try to sabotage you. These are the type of people that try to nitpick at a flaw and just focus on that and fixate on that. Just a little flaw, and it could be so minor, like, right, but they fixate on it because it makes them feel better about the light that you carry and how that shines light on their darkness that they refuse to actually address and to deal with. Like, they really believe there's no correction that they can make within themselves to get out of the space of feeling the way that they feel about themselves, because again, this is about them. This ain't about you. This don't got shit to do with you. It's your light. You're making these choices and decisions because this is part of your authenticity. This is part of your identity. This is just a part of who you are. You can't change that because it makes this person over here feel uncomfortable, because it triggers parts of themselves, but then it triggers them, but it inspires them. It triggers them and makes them uncomfortable, but it inspires them and it gets them excited. What's the difference? The only difference is introspection, like them choosing to take what they see and reflect on it, like, oh, you know what? That's possible for me. Like, I see her out here doing this and I see her out there. That's possible for me too. That's so inspirational. Like, I love that. I'm so happy for her. Like, I want her to win so bad because they're seeing it this way. If she's winning, I win. If she won, I won. We all win. Because as human beings, we are connected. We are a collective. Just because you haven't won yet doesn't mean you can't win. Just because she won before you did doesn't mean you don't have a win coming. And no one ever thinks about the girl that's winning worked to get there, to that win. And the only difference between the girl that knows she's going to win is because she has the mindset that she's going to work just like the girl that's winning now. That's literally the only difference. It's not about luck. It's not. It's literally the difference of I'm winning, she won. And the reason why the girl over here is like, oh, no, she won, I won, we win, is because she knows that if she keeps working, that she's going to win too. So when she sees that other woman win, she knows that she's won too. As long as she keeps being consistent and disciplined, she keeps working on herself. She knows that. And yes, everyone's win, wins look different, but I do think that when certain people are mirrored back to you through inspiration, there is some type of compatibility there. There's some type of mirroring, there's some type of parallel, like something is showing you what, like that picture, that mirroring is showing you what is possible for you. It may not look exactly like her because we all have our own lanes, but I do find it interesting in life when this particular person, out of the billions of people that exist on this planet Earth, there's this particular person that's being mirrored back to you through inspiration. There's a reason for that. You may not win in the same way, right? You're still going to win in your own way, but she's still giving you that inspiration that you can win and you will win if you just keep going. That's it. And then you have this other group over here that will sit in victimhood, that will blame everyone else, that will sit in their insecurities and not work on them, that will sit in their negative thinking, that will sit in their lack of knowing who they are, that will like literally just sit and do no type of work. Yes, like Therapy, I'm always going to recommend therapy. Seriously. Because you have blind spots when it comes to your self awareness. Some people don't have good self awareness at all. Some people have somewhere in the middle, and some people have good self awareness. It just depends on you, right? And I feel like therapy is important because you have blind spots sometimes when it comes to your self awareness. Like you can have good self awareness, but you still may have blind spots that your therapist can help you with when it comes to bettering your self awareness. Like prime example, I used to pride myself on being empathetic until I got into a relationship with a narcissist. I used to pride myself that being empathetic was me just being a good person. And the whole time, I wasn't being a good person to myself. I was being a good person to everyone outside of myself, but I didn't know how to be a good person to myself. I knew how to be empathetic to everyone outside of myself, but I didn't know how to be empathetic to myself. That was my blind spot because I was raised in a household that taught me how to be a good person to others, but they never taught me how to be a good person to myself. So therapy pointed out that blind spot. And that was a blind spot for me because of how I was raised in my childhood. Self neglect, self betrayal is a real thing if it's not taught to you to recognize yourself. I feel like millennial parents, y'all are doing a fabulous job with starting that self-awareness at a very young age with these kids. I mean, they're very self-aware to the point they posing in photos. They know how to look good in photos and videos. Whereas when I was a kid, I was like awkward. I was like, I don't know what to do. These kids hop in front of the camera like it's nothing. And I feel like it's because it's not just because of social media. It's because y'all are really speaking life into these kids. Like I can tell. Y'all are affirming them. I can tell. You're feeding into their spirit. You are nurturing their spirit. You are nurturing their personalities and who they are. They're able to self recognize. I didn't have that growing up. So in therapy, I knew how to be things for others, but I didn't know how to be certain things for myself. And that was my biggest blind spot. I didn't even know that I needed to have boundaries with my empathy, because if I don't have boundaries with my empathy, people will take advantage of me. People will use me. People will abuse me. Me not having any boundaries with my empathy is how I was preyed on. It's how I was abused. It's how I was bullied. It's how I was picked on. Like I have a story when I was in 6th grade and there was this blind girl. She used to pick on me. She bullied me. A blind girl in English class bullied me when I was in 6th grade. And because of my empathy of her being blind, I would let her bully me. Like I literally, she would take her stick and she would always like hit me under the table with her stick. And because she was blind and I felt bad because she was blind, I just let her bully me. Like literally, I let her kick under the table. I never said anything. And at first, this is the tricky thing too. She was a blind girl. At first I'm like, oh, she's not doing it on purpose, right? I'm like, she's not doing it on purpose. Me trying to be understanding and reasonable, right? Like, oh, she's not doing it on purpose. Like, she doesn't see my feet under the table. But I remember like halfway through the year, she never stopped. Like, she would always, and to the point where it became obvious, like, it was intentional. She liked hitting people with the stick. And so I never told on her. I never went to the teacher and complained or anything because I felt bad. Like, I'm like, well, I have sight. She doesn't. Like, literally, I'm being so dead ass. Like, this was when I was in 6th grade. And my empathy, and I talked about this with my therapist, my empathy overlooked myself and how I felt and how she was making me uncomfortable and how most likely I really wanted to move to a different seat because how we were sitting in the classroom where it's a triangle table and it's one student and then we're like diagonal like this, and she would literally kick, I mean not kick, she would literally use her stick and poke me under the table, and we would be sitting diagonal like that. That's how the tables were set up in 6th grade. It was a little rectangle like this, and then they would have the students diagonal from each other like that. And she would literally take her stick and just poke me, hit me. It was a mess. And I never told anyone. And it was because I felt bad. Like, I'm like, well, I can see and she can't. And I'm like, I feel like I'm in the wrong and I don't know why. So I never told on her. I just allowed her to bully me the whole half semester. And that is just what I dealt with. So in therapy, right? My therapist, especially after the narcissist, she said that you have a consistent pattern of putting others before you think of yourself. You have so much empathy, right? But you don't have empathy for yourself. And I never thought about it like that. And most healers, light workers, most women that are empathetic, right? They literally think of others before they think of themselves. Now people call me a bitch. Now people call me self-centered. Now people call me, oh, you full of yourself. Da, 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 da. But y'all don't understand how I've literally allowed people to walk over me. People are like, oh, you so strict. You so this, you so that. It's because I used to be the opposite. And I'm glad you can't see empathy. I'm glad you can't see it. Because I've been preyed on a lot. So I'm glad you can't see it. I'm glad you think I'm a bitch. I'm glad you think I'm a bad person. I don't give a fuck. That's where I'm at. I don't care. So that's fine. But I literally have all of these experiences. Like people literally preying on me and wanting to take advantage of me because they see the empathy on me. They saw the empathy. They saw how I was willing to look past certain things to understand someone else before considering how I would feel, how that would affect me, how if I even wanted to do this or to do that. So I'm glad, like my therapist would be happy to hear that that's how you perceive me to be. Thank you. Because before that, I was preyed on. Before that, I was bullied. Before that, I was picked on. And listen, everything in life is about balance. So I know when to step into my empathy. I know when to step into seeing things from another person's perspective, but it's not going to be automatic. That's the difference. It was so automatic for me. It was just like a program that just ran. All you had to do was hit start and it just doop, 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 went through all the prompts, went through all the steps, boom, and that's it. And how am I choosing when to be in my empathy and when not to be? Discernment comes with wisdom, with experience. That's where it comes from. So I told the story the other day. There was this girl at the beauty shop. I went to the beauty shop, y'all. I was looking for this synthetic ponytail, sensational Janet. She's that girl, and I need my. I'm trying to get my hands on her, but she's been hard to find. So I went to the beauty supply store, and I'm on the hunt for this Janet ponytail. I'm on the hunt for it. And so I go in there, they don't have it. My mama on the phone, she talking to me. She's distracting me a little bit. And you know when your mama be rambling on the phone, she just be talking about everything, and I let her. She retired. I think she's lonely. And so I just let her ramble. And I'm listening. And there's this young woman that comes up to me in the store, and she goes, "Hey, can you help me buy some crochet here?" And I'm annoyed not because she asked. I'm annoyed because it caught me off guard. And it's also triggering a past version of myself that got taken advantage of in a beauty supply store. If you know the story about how I got swindled in a beauty supply shopping center where this man was hustling me. I bought a gold chain. It turned my neck green. You get it. Okay. So I'm startled. So I'm instantly annoyed. My mama still talking. I haven't told her what was going on in the beauty supply store. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. I'll do it. So then she goes off and she finds whatever crochet here that she wants me to buy, right? Fine. My mom's still talking. I haven't told her anything of what's going on. I'm just going, still looking for maybe something else to buy. Because I'm like, damn, I drove all the way here. I'm not going to leave with nothing. I didn't leave with nothing. So she comes back to me and she goes, this is the hair that I want. It was 4 packs. It was extra long. And it was crochet here. The total was like $70, something like that. So I get to the counter, right? I get to the counter. And Spirit told me, help her. Like, I heard that, like, help her. And I'm like, are you sure? And Spirit was like, help. Like, I was literally going back and forth, like, my mama rambling in my ear. And I'm like, really having this coming to myself moment where I'm talking to my spirit, like, are we on the same page with this? Because I don't want to feel like I'm being taken advantage of, but I do want to help her because I have a soft spot for young women. And I'm thinking about all of the things that maybe she may be experiencing in her life. Like, maybe she's getting bullied at school. I don't know. And then I'm like, what are the odds of me driving all the way to this beauty supply store? It was hell getting here because Houston construction, what the hell? So it was hell getting here. So I got here and I'm like, maybe I was supposed to help. Maybe I'm supposed to give to this girl. Like, maybe I'm just supposed to pay it for it and give back. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let me give. So I get to the counter. I'm paying for the hair. And then she goes, oh, I need this and I need this and I need this. And I said, wait a minute. Now, you told me, okay, you told me you only needed crochet here. All right. You didn't say all of this other stuff. I'm only buying the crochet here. Spirit told me that get the crochet here. I'm not getting anything else. She was talking about edge control. She was talking about I needed this and this. I said, see, I think when she approached me, I was getting that in her energy that she was trying to see what all she could get out of me. But she started off on the lighter side and she was gonna try to work her way up. You can't work me like that. Now listen, I'm willing to help you out with this hair, okay? Because I'm looking at her head. And this is me being real. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on in your home life. I don't know if you need this new hairstyle for a job opportunity. I have no idea. But here, Spirit told me to buy this hair for you, and that's it. That's it. So that's what I'm doing. So I paid for the hair. I said, listen, you have a nice day. And I left. I didn't even buy nothing for myself. I just left. So the lesson in that was, yeah, I'm willing to be in my empathy. I know how to be in my empathy, but I also know when to cut that shit the fuck off. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'll buy you the hair, but sis, you're not about to hustle me. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? I'm willing to help. I'm willing to give. And see, when you're a giver, right? When you're a giver, you got to know when to give and when not to. You got to know when to cut that shit the fuck off too. Cause listen, a younger version of myself would have been like, okay, guilt tripped. And you know what it feels like as an empath to that guilt trip, it eats us from the inside out. We're thinking about it for days. Takers don't give a shit. Us givers, we think about that we can think about that shit 2 months later. You know how it is. But because of therapy, which is why I say go to therapy and shadow work, okay? And getting more in tune with your spirit and knowing who you are. Because in that moment, I had to check in with myself. Like, am I doing this because I feel obligated? Am I doing this because of guilt? Am I doing, like, I had to run it down. And I'm like, no, I actually want to help this girl. And I feel like spirit is leading me to do it. Because I drove all the way over here. What are the odds of me being at this particular beauty supply store, bumping into this girl? Maybe I'm meant to help her. But she ain't about to use me and she's not about to take advantage of me. So it's about balance, y'all. That's my point with all of this. I'm all for a villain era, but that shit can get very dark. You can become selfish, but don't allow selfishness to change your true nature and your heart. So it was all about balance. But you got to know when people playing you, though. You got to know when to cut that shit off, because she tried to hustle me. I said, girl, hell no. I will help you with this hair, and that's it. And you already knew. And see, you know how she tested me? This is how I peeped it. She tested me with, she went and got the longest crochet hair she could find. Extra long, which means it was more expensive. She could have got something modest, like, 16 inches, hell, maybe even 20 inches. I think she got like 30-inch crochet hair, some crazy like that. So she tested me with that, and she was like, oh, if she's cool with me getting that extra long hair, ooh, she'll be cool with. You cannot hustle me. This is the hair you picked. I said I would pay for it because that I gave you my word, and I'm gonna stick to it. But don't try to hustle me like that. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So to my light workers, my healers, to the girls that are just sensitive and we are able to jump right into, because again, the first thing I did was, what if she's getting teased at school? What if she's being picked on? What if she needs a new hairstyle for an interview? Like, I instantly got into seeing what she may be going through based off of, do I want to give? Is this something that I truly just want to do out of the kindness of, like, I instantly got into, oh, she could be going through this, she could be going through that. Didn't even consider myself first. And I had to pause, and I was annoyed because my mama was rambling. I had to pause and really check in, like, no, I actually do want to help this girl. Like, I do. I want to give back. God has been blessing me. Y'all have seen me be blessed in my Ferrution room on Discord and things like that. And y'all know I do offerings with my ancestors and things like that. And I'm like, you know what? Let me give back. Because a lot of girls are always asking me, they be like, Yoni, when we get blessed, how do we give back? Like, how do we do something sacrificial or selfless in the community? It's a great way to give back. You can give back to your ancestors and things like that, but you can also give to your community and people in your community. But don't let them take advantage of you. Don't let them take advantage of you. So I like to give back in a multitude of ways. Like, offerings can be communal. Like, I will go in the community and give back in that way. And sometimes it happens in ways like that. And I felt like with me being blessed with all of the things that I've gotten, especially after my debt jar release, I felt like, let me pay it forward in this moment. And I really wanted to do it because I had been blessed. God had been blessing me with this, with this, with this. And I was just like, you know what? I can do this. I can do this for her. And that's the reason why I wanted to give to her, regardless of what she chooses to do with this hair. It's really none of my business, and it's not my concern. Because if you're being blessed and you're fruitful, and you've been getting blessed back to back, and it's just like blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings on top of blessings. I gave. I gave. So somebody said not getting the longest crochet here. It is what it is. But you got to know when to draw that line. And a lot of givers, light keepers, healers, my hypersensitive girlies, my empaths, you don't have boundaries. And people can come in, sniff that weakness, because unfortunately it's going to be seen from their perspective as a weakness, right? We see it as a powerhouse. I do, because it's really what the world needs more of. But they see it as a weakness in the world that we live in, because you got to understand the world, the environment that we live in. They see it as a weakness. They see it as an opportunity to take advantage. We see it as a powerhouse, a move, right? And they see it as opposite, like, oh, let me take advantage. And so you got to have boundaries with your empathy. You have to have boundaries with how you give and when you're choosing to give, and how you're choosing to give in the ways that you're wanting to give. Like, are you doing it out of obligation because you feel obligated? Are you doing it because you feel pressured? Like, I had to check in with myself. Am I giving because I feel pressured? And I literally, in that moment, while my mama was rambling, I literally said, no, God been blessing me so much. My ancestors have been blessing me so much. I'm giving. And that's how I made that decision. So sometimes I know as givers, I've given because I felt pressured. I literally felt pressured. So I gave. And I felt like, when you give and you feel pressured and you don't feel good on the inside. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You feel used. You feel used. So I'm sharing these stories with you so that you can see the growth and you can see the difference. Like from that girl, that blind girl in 6th grade that was bullying me to now, it's like, yeah, I can be empathetic, but you're not about to play with me. Like, and honestly, I hate to say it, y'all, but you really got to treat people like, oh, like kind, right? Oh, like cool. And then when they try you, what the fuck? Like, you really gotta be like, are you crazy? Do you think I'm stupid? Like, you really gotta change your whole demeanor. Because if not, they will literally think that they can punk you. That is what that is. And once she realized she couldn't hustle me, she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Girl. And you see a totally different side of them. Now they're intimidated. Whereas before, they was trying to get a lick. I'm just like, y'all are out of your mind. You are out of your mind. And these people are like this. And you know what people I'm talking about. Those people. Oh my God, the switch up scares the fuck out of them. It scares them. I've literally seen it. I'm like, oh, damn. And that's what I'm saying. I'm nice until I'm not. Because you tried to take me as a fool. You tried to insult my intelligence. I don't like that. I don't respect that. And you didn't. And then this is the thing, y'all. And I've experienced this in friendship. I've experienced this in relationships with men, family, coworkers. You don't even have to do us like that. Like, you literally don't. You literally do not even have to do us like that. It was unnecessary. We're so understanding to the point where you literally don't have to do us like that. I just don't understand. You don't. But you're choosing to. And I feel like it's because they have wired their brains based off of survival and survival only, that they do this with everyone. So don't take it personal, but it's all about survival for them. But it's like, it's not even necessary. You didn't have to do all of that. So I just be noticing that. And listen, it's because of the world that we live in. If we lived in a perfect world where people had empathy for the giver, because a lot of times people don't have empathy for the giver, right? The taker doesn't know how to have that type of empathy or consideration. That's how we find ourselves in these situations where we have to draw a line. We have to create that boundary. And what are we doing? We are being empathetic to ourselves. That is what that is. And my therapist, she showed me that blind spot that I had over my life, and I never noticed it. So I'm sharing this blind spot with you. As an empath, as a giver, you need to have boundaries. You do. And one thing I've learned about predators, abusers, and manipulators is that they will weaponize every good trait that you have. They will. Your kindness, your understanding, your personality, your love, your your foresight. Like, they literally, predators, manipulators, and abusers will literally weaponize every good trait against you. So you have to have boundaries with these good traits. That's part of developing shadow work. And let me tell you something about your shadow work too. You take these shadow aspects of your personality and your character, and you protect with these shadow aspects of yourself. You protect the light. That is what you're doing. This is why you running from your shadow. I don't relate. Me and my shadow have embraced. We love each other. Literally. All right. The recklessness, the impulsiveness, the anger management. We are in love over here. Okay. And I mean that. Okay. A man could never love me the way I love myself. That's just a fact. So we embrace that shadow because the shadow aspect of myself protects the light. And when I was young, I did not know to do that. That is what shadow work is. I keep expressing this, I keep explaining it in so many different ways. Stop running from your shadow. Your shadow protects your light. Okay. And then your light balances out your shadow, your darkness. But they're intertwined. They make you whole, they make you unique, they make you personable, they make you relatable, they make you real, they make you human. Like, you have to have both. Okay. And that's why I said this is between two worlds with Yoni, where duality, it's not a conflict. It's not conflict. It's a conversation. It is a conversation. Like your ego, right? In this world, we look at the ego as like this negative thing, right? But really, your ego is supposed to protect your self esteem. Okay. People have too much ego, though. It's all about balance. Your ego is actually supposed to protect your self esteem. That is what that is. Also, self love is supposed to protect you from, or I guess this way, self love is supposed to protect you from self negative thoughts, doubt, talks, imposter syndrome, things like that. Self love has to kick in at some point. Okay. And then we're always going to be ignorant to something. Ignorance is sometimes not a choice, it's just we don't know. So being open minded is always going to create room for where you're not ignorant. Okay. And then ignorance it allows you, right, to be open minded so that you can learn. So ignorance is not really a bad thing. It's only a bad thing if you're choosing to be or remain ignorant. Just like with your ego, if you're choosing to just be all ego, if you're choosing to just be all ignorance and not be open minded and be open enough to learn new things at whatever age. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's literally all about balance. This is what shadow work is, but it's learning how to use these shadow aspects to your advantage to set you up so that you can do what? Win. This is all about self mastery. This is why people who master themselves master life. People that master themselves master healing. If you master healing, you will never lose at all. So understand, like, you go back and forth. You go back and forth. You go back and forth all day, all day. And when you get done, there is balance. And it creates hope. It creates excitement. It creates creativity. It creates being spontaneous. It creates like all of these beautiful things within yourself. And this is what makes, outside of your aesthetic as a woman, this is what makes you a beautiful soul. Okay. This is why, like, the wall will never exist for you, because you evolve, you elevate, you're always improving. And it's an internal thing, like, it's an experience. And that's the thing. It's like what a lot of women tend to focus so much on is they focus on aesthetics. But what about your atmosphere? What about your essence? What about your spirit? All of the other components when it comes to beauty, because it can't just be looks. Your atmosphere, like when people come around you, what's your vibe? What is your vibe when it comes to your atmosphere? How do people feel when they step into your energy? Do they get excited? Do they get inspired? Does it feel like a warm hug? Does it feel like a Sunday morning? Does it feel like a rainbow? Does it feel like a fairy? What kind of atmosphere do you create when people step into your energy? Like, that's a part of your beauty. And I don't see a lot of women focusing on that at all. Your spirit, right? Your spirit can be a lot of different things. It can be freeing, it can be peace, it can be hope, it can be love, it can be a thought process. Like, your spirit is beautiful too. Then another thing, essence. There has to be that thing about you that just leaves a mark for people. Like, something about you that makes you unforgettable. It doesn't matter how many women are in a room, your essence left a mark. Like, for a while. You're just unforgettable, timeless. That's essence. Your truth is beautiful too, because it's your authenticity. Your truth makes you unique, which it translates right into uniqueness. There's not another you that exists. They can't go out and get a replacement. They just can't. Your truth, which is your uniqueness, that's not easy to find. Then I would also have to say your aura, your attractiveness, right? Like, your aura is what attracts people. That's why you have to protect your aura too. But that's a conversation for another day. But your aura, like, what makes you magnetic, right? It could be mystery. It doesn't always have to be readable. And I feel like as a woman in this system, you need to be a mystery. Seriously. Don't be readable. Don't be clockable. This is your protection. It's just the way it has to be. And if a man really is serious about you, he don't mind you being a little mysterious to the point where he gotta get to know you, and it takes time. He'll be okay with that if he's a real one. And then I want to say the last thing that I can say when it comes to beauty is your aesthetic. And your aesthetic should come from a place of self-expression. Self-expression. Ooh, I almost forgot. Before aesthetic, self-identity. That's a part of your beauty too. There are a lot of women out here that copy other women with no identity. Aesthetically pleasing, but no identity. And that's a part of your beauty too. And then when you focus and you work on your self identity, then you can work on your aesthetic, which is rooted in your self expression. Okay. That's all about what your beauty represents as a woman. And then at that point, you can call yourself a divine feminine. You can actually call yourself a woman. Seriously. And another one that I almost forgot about, I always forget, because as women, this is something that we tend to struggle with. Our emotional well being also plays a major part in your beauty as well. This is how you are able to be good at what you do, how you show up, how you treat people, your character is being emotionally regulated, emotionally stable, emotionally whole. Because you can't be all of these other things and then struggle with your emotional well-being, because your emotional well-being typically is the foundation of your self-identity and all of these other components that I talked about. Because if you're not emotionally stable, if you don't know how to emotionally regulate, all of these other things are going to be a struggle for you. So emotional stability. I don't have my, because I have my affirmations on my vanity, and I'm like bullet point, boom, 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 boom. I did a whole video on my Patreon, like affirmations, boom, boom, boom. I go through all of them and I recite them out loud, because my level up is never just going to be outer appearance. It's always going to be here, because this is the most important. My outer appearance is going to change in my lifetime. I don't like probably 100 times over by the time I get called, okay, home. But honestly, I'm okay with that. As long as this inner part is whole and is beautiful, that's what matters most to me anyway. So I truly believe in that. So I put a lot more focus on the inner than I do the outer. I try to find that balance because self-care is important. I do see myself when I look good, I feel good, but I don't want it to just be only that. I don't want it to just be only that because oftentimes that leads to no substance. And I want substance. Like, substance to me, it's like a really good book. It's a really good book. And you ever read a book where it's so damn good, you get to a certain point in the book and you're like, "Oh my God, let me slow down because we're getting towards the end and it's like it's just too good. I don't want it to end." And so you like towards the end, you start I would say halfway through, you're like, "Okay, let me slow down." Because we ran through half the book and I'm like, let me slow down because this is just too good. But then there's this excitement, like, but I wonder what's gonna happen next. Like, I wonder what's gonna happen next. So I'm like really that type of person. Like, I love substance. I love getting books from old bookstores, libraries, and you go through the pages and you see like tea stains and coffee stains and things like that. I love that. You see markings, you see highlighted sentences and sayings and quotes and things like that. There's substance in that book. That if you just picked up the cover and you looked on the outside, you don't really get much. But when you start to peel back the pages and you start to see the substance and you start to see the essence of the tea stains and the coffee stains and things like that, you like, oh, this was a good book. They couldn't put it down. And you could tell. So that's what I like. I love substance. Like I love that. I've always been that type of girl. I feel like substance is timeless. It's unforgettable. It's something to remember. It's a day to remember. It's a summer to remember. It's an autumn time to remember. It's a winter to remember. It's always something to remember when there's substance. When there's no substance, it's forgotten. It is forgotten. And ladies, you want to be unforgettable. I mean, that could be your biggest revenge. That could be your biggest flex in life is to always be remembered as unforgettable. The girls are just focused on the aesthetic, and I'm like, you're gonna be forgotten. Okay, every year there's a woman that turns 18. If we just making it about some surface level shit, no substance at all, you're gonna be easily forgotten. But a woman that is unforgettable, she always has substance about herself. Always intelligence, intellect, knowledge, and it doesn't matter, what topics. It could just be random. Like sometimes I educate myself on random shit all the time. Like I have so much to talk about just because I educate myself on just random shit. Shit that most would be like, you did what? Wow, I would never have taken you to like look into that or want to know more about that. That is so weird. But okay. Substance, right? And it's different. And the more you allow yourself to be yourself, the more you will have substance. But if you keep trying to fit yourself into a mold, if you keep trying to fit yourself into these surface level expectations, you are reducing yourself to being forgotten. And that's a choice. So be unforgettable. Embrace who you are. And I mean that in every way: shadow, light, personality, authenticity, truth. That includes your truth, includes mistakes. It's life. We all have them. Your truth includes insecurities, accepting them. We all have them. So understand that you need to accept yourself in all of these areas. And I'm telling you, that's when you're going to step. Ooh, quirkiness. I love that. Wittiness. I love it. That's when you're going to step into your womanhood. That's when you're going to step into your divine feminine energy. That's when you're going to become whole within yourself. And it's a beautiful experience. That's when you can really look at yourself in the mirror and be like, "You know what? I'm obsessed with myself. Like, I'm in love with myself. I'm in love. And you will turn into those women where you'll sit at a table and the girls or the women are like, oh yeah, like this man is so obsessed with me. And then you sit down at the table and you go, I'm so obsessed with me. I'm so obsessed with me. And they'll look at you like, the hell? And you know what's interesting about when a woman becomes obsessed with herself? Everyone else becomes obsessed with her too. I noticed that. And it's not just men, it's people. The more you become obsessed with yourself, everyone else becomes obsessed with you. Like, it's crazy. Everybody want to know your business. Everybody want to know your plans. Everybody want to know who that. Who is that? Who you with? Where you going? Who you gonna be with? Who gonna be there? They want to know all your business, all of it. So yeah, I feel like the girls. I hope y'all learning, because the Nicki and Cardi situation is not about Nicki and Cardi. It's really not. It's about what it is showcasing to predatory men out here. You're readable, you're clockable, and you are a danger to yourself. And someone needs to tell you that, because there are people out here in this world that will see that and they will take advantage of you. I am not a dating coach. I wouldn't even consider myself a life coach. I am a discernment coach. I have gone through a lot in my life. I have been preyed on in so many different ways. Um, like, honestly. And when I started off in life, I was this white bunny in the forest being preyed on, not knowing I was being preyed on. People sitting back like just ready to take advantage of me. And it started very young. Very young. I can remember times I went to the community pool and my mom dropped me off with my brothers thinking, oh, it's going to be safe for her. Like, it's going to be cool with her. Like, she's with her brothers, da, da, da. But I couldn't swim. So my brothers are in the 12 feet deep end. They going down the slides and everything. And I'm on the side that is more kid friendly for me because I can't swim. And I'm left alone and I'm being preyed on by grown men. And I think about how, when you're being preyed on by grown men, right? They tell you things like, oh, you look older for your age. I'm sorry. And you don't look older for your age. They see how young you are. That's the reason they're approaching you. They know you're underage. That is the reason why they're approaching you, because they're preying on you. But I don't know that. I don't know that. I'm young. Literally a white bunny in a forest being preyed on by God knows what is in that forest. All type of creatures and shit. And I don't even know that I'm being preyed on. I don't even know that I'm being watched. So I'm telling you, ladies, that when you expose yourself like that white bunny, know what the fuck you are doing. Okay? I hope that you have a plan in place, because they are going to try to take advantage of you. And the worst thing you ever want to be is readable. That's just how, like, my dad taught me that you will never be able to physically go up against a man fist to fist, but you can outsmart him. Okay? Like, use your brain, ladies. But I need y'all to stop saying things like, oh, I just want a man to think for me. So you don't want to think for yourself? Because if you're not thinking for yourself and you having somebody else think for you, do they have good intentions? Do they have hidden motives? You never want to stop thinking for yourself, ladies. Not in the world that we live in. You always want to think for yourself. Always. You should always be thinking. Not overthinking, because that causes anxiety, but you get what I'm saying. Everything's is with balance, but you always want to be thinking for yourself. You always got to be planning what's your next move gonna be. And it doesn't mean that you got to share that with somebody else. It just means like you're always thinking. You're always preparing for what's next. What am I gonna do if it goes this way? What am I gonna do if it goes this way? What am I gonna do if it don't go the way that I really want? Like, you always got to be thinking. That is your protection. And I need the girls to understand that. And you need to start thinking from a higher perspective. Because when it comes to the Cardi and Nicki situation, I'm thinking from a higher perspective. That's why I'm like, and men who study women are thinking from a higher perspective. So you being predictable is easily readable. No, it's about being smart. And listen, when you're always thinking about what your next move is going to be, I'm not saying this has to be constant. You should be meditating. You should be going out into nature. You should be working out. You should be doing things that gives your mind rest. But you should always know what your next move is going to be. You should never be waiting until the last minute at all. At all, at all, at all, at all, at all. Typically, we don't get into this way of thinking until women have kids. I don't have kids. I'm thinking like that now. So much so to the point where I'm already saying I don't want my kids to have a father like that. I don't want my kids to grow up like that. I don't want my kids to grow up in this household. I don't want my kids to grow up in this town, this city. I don't want my kids to grow up like this or like that. I don't have kids, but I'm already thinking like that. I'm speaking it over my life too. I already know what I want too, and I speak it over my life. So, no, like, women should always be thinking. There should be moments of rest. Always tell the girls, rest is a ritual. Rest is a ritual. Do nothing. Do absolutely nothing. Just do nothing for a day. But you should always be knowing and planning about what you want. And listen, the best part about this as a woman, especially when you've grown, you can change your mind. Oh my gosh, yeah, you can change your fucking mind. I find that to be so interesting. As women, it's bad when you change your mind. Some things about yourself you should never change. Like, you should always have this deal breaker setting within your womanhood was like, we ain't never going back on these things, right? But other things, because life is life, you have the power to change your mind. You have free will. You could do that whenever you want to. You could change it. You were saying one thing at 18, you saying something else at 21. You were saying one thing at 21, now you saying something different at 25. It's called growth. So, yeah, there should always be those deal breakers though, right? Where you never go back on these things, but these other things, you have free will. Embrace change. Change can be very beautiful, like, honestly. So don't feel like you got to hold yourself to this identity, or you got to hold yourself to this way of thinking. You got to hold yourself to just this decision and choice. You can always wake up one day and be like, you know what? I want to do something different. It doesn't always have to be just a hair change or I'm changing my style. But y'all, I don't know about y'all, but like when I'm going through massive changes, I got to get a new look. I'm just, that's just my personality. That's just my uniqueness. Like, if I'm changing, oh, I'm changing. And we need to have a new look to go with this change. Like, I'm just one of those type of people. The girls that relate, y'all relate. Okay. But girl, I gotta get a new look. Like, I'm already plotting on my new look right now. I don't know. We did the short. What we gonna do next? I don't know what we're gonna do. What are you doing? Give me some tea, some tips. Okay, like, I need to know. Like, what are we doing next? What are the girls doing? I know. I don't know. I'm still undecisive. I'm gonna work it out. But I'm gonna log out. I love you all. This conversation was with love. It's kind of like me having a conversation with my younger self or my older self. I've watched some of my older videos and I'm like, oh my God, I said that. And it resonates. And I was younger and now I'm older. And it's like, wow, wow, that's crazy. So this is like me talking to my older and my younger self, honestly. It's timeless. So you ladies, enjoy the rest of your day. To the men that's in here, the ones that are not being trolls, I appreciate you as well for allowing me to have this space with women and you not take it over and try to dominate it, because I don't do that in barbershops. I don't do that in man caves. And I don't go to sports bars and do that. So I appreciate you for just staying in your corner and letting us ladies do our thing here, and you not really trying to take over and dominate the conversation. I really do appreciate you. We need to recognize men like that, because honestly, I never really noticed it. I never noticed how men come into women's spaces and want to like dominate and take over, and it's just like, are you getting enough attention in your personal life? Like, I don't know. I feel like people that do that, they're not getting attention, or they're not getting the attention that they want, or something like that. I don't know. I've never been like that. Like, I'm like the type of person where I come in a room and I kind of just sit down and keep to myself and try to like integrate in a little bit and not try to do too much, because I'm trying to fill out the space. And I'm like, okay, if it's more dominating in a particular gender, then I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Like, that's typically what I do. Not because I feel like I have to. I'm considerate. That's it. Oh, the Aisha Curry situation. I need to look into it some more. I feel like, based off of what I'm seeing, I feel like the interview was taken out of context, but they love taking her out of context because they want to paint Aisha as this villain. And I don't think she's a villain. I think she just wants to be her own self while also being married to Curry. I think she wanted her own. And this is crazy. Like, honestly, she's not a gold digger. Like, this is what kills me about men, right? Aisha is just not a gold digger. I don't feel like she's a gold digger. I think she just wanted her own thing. Like, she wanted her own career. She wanted her own success. And what men are failing to understand when it comes to Aisha is that motherhood means that women often have to sacrifice their success, their career. Her husband didn't have to do that. He didn't have to give up anything. She had to give up a lot. She had to give up a lot. Now, she's saying that she eventually came around to just loving it and enjoying it, right? But her husband couldn't understand. But the only reason he couldn't understand, because as a man, he didn't have to give up anything. And basically, y'all proven Aisha correct. The men that are negatively responding to what she's saying, y'all don't have to give up shit. And then this is the thing that like kills me about men. This is why I'm not married and I don't have no motherfucking kids, because I'm not delusional about that lifestyle. I don't want to give up shit. I don't want to give up my fucking life. Like, that is my true raw feelings. I don't want to give up my sleep. I don't want to give up the back seat of my car. It stays clean. No crumbs. Nothing. I don't even want to give up this shit just to say I have a man. Like, that's not enough for me. I'm sorry. For some women, it's a lot. For me, that's just not enough. Because when you choose a man, he can come in and destroy your fucking life. A woman can come into your life as a man and destroy your fucking life. So you need to choose wisely. Just to say I have a man, that shit is just not enough. So instead of me torturing a man in a marriage or a relationship, I choose to remain single. It bothers the fuck out of people. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But I'm not delusional. I'm not about to just go and do some shit just because that's what society wants me to do. I'm not doing it. That's because that's what my parents want me to do. I'm not doing it. This is my life. I have to be happy in it. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. Me. 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 It's about me. That is the perk. That is the joy. That is the luxury of being single. That's what it's about. I don't want to give up my leisure. I don't want to give up money. I don't want to give up time. I don't want to give up energy. I don't want to give up none of that shit. Like, honestly, that is what it is. That, like, honestly, I prayed to reach this part in my life where I didn't have any responsibilities, where I only had to worry about my fucking self. I don't have to worry about cooking, cleaning, unless I just want to. And because of my choices, I enjoy cooking and cleaning for myself. I actually enjoy going home. I've been in situations where I didn't want to go home too many times. So, like, I love this life. I don't like this whole you're going to be single forever. You're projecting your fear on me. That's your fear. That's not mine. You're going to be single forever. That means my car is going to stay clean. My home is going to stay clean. My bank account is still going to grow. Everything around me is still going to be operating perfectly the way that I have built it to operate. I don't have anyone coming in and infiltrating what the fuck I built, what the fuck I got going on. It's my shit. But see, when a man is selfish like this, right? Oh, he a man, he a man, he a man. Some of us just don't want the same things. And then, like, the biggest factor, too, when it comes to me having this thought process is the economy, is the United States. Y'all can continue to be delusional about the shit that's happening in this country, but I refuse to be delusional about what's happening in this country. I literally watched Candace Owens take her kids out of school because she didn't trust the school that she was paying in tuition for her two kids. So she removed them so that she could be homeschooled. If I'm going to be a good mom, I most likely have to homeschool my kids. Do I want to do that shit? So I can't just be a fucking mom. I have to be a teacher too. That's a lot of fucking work. And that's just me going into it with the world changing, right? Some moms didn't even get this choice because they already had kids. I don't have kids. So I got to think bigger. I literally, I got to think bigger. So I can't, and then this is another thing too. Motherhood, in my opinion, is something that I'm supposed to enjoy. It's not just something that it's not supposed to be something I'm just supposed to do. I'm actually supposed to enjoy the shit. We don't live in a country. We do not live in a community that supports women in a way to where we can truly enjoy motherhood. I'm not delusional about that. I'm not delusional. Then when I think of a legacy, it's not just a last name. To have them come here, work like a fucking slave, 40 hours a fucking week, and then do that shit until they fucking die. That's not a legacy to me. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's torture. It's suffering. It's stress. Like, how many of us go into adulthood and we like, fuck, this is adulthood? That's the legacy? And I used to believe, oh, like, because I used to be like, oh, I'm going to have kids to make the world a better place. Why is the world going backwards? Like, at any point in my life as a woman who is supposed to carry out this legacy and have fucking kids, right? I'm like, the hope ripped from me. Like, I don't like make the world a better place. I don't think the world wants to be a better place. Like, I don't think me having a kid is gonna make a fucking difference. Like, honestly, because you have these old men in positions, like Obama said, that are so fucking old, but they don't want to give up their position. So me birthing a kid, what the hell is that doing? Do y'all not see Gen Z? Gen Z is having a hard time finding a job because of the baby boomers. The baby boomers, they refuse to stop working because they can't stop working. Like, y'all want to have a conversation about this kid thing and y'all make it like very surface level. Like, y'all make it so surface level to the point where it's just childish to me. Like, honestly, legacy to work and come here and work 40 hours a week like a slave, be a debt slave. And like, that's the legacy. I don't like, that's not the legacy that I want for my kids. Like, I actually want my kids to enjoy their life. Just like I want to enjoy motherhood, I want my kids to actually enjoy their life. I'm not saying like hard work won't be a part of it, but it's like there has to be. I felt like there used to be. I feel, and before, I would say before 2020, I feel like there used to be a time where there was hope and like we believed in it, whether it was to make the world a better place, to create a legacy where your child could help make the world a better place. All of that hope is gone. Like, all of it is gone, y'all. And then I'm an adult now, so I get to see like the end of the other side of life where your parents, they get older, right? And if you really think when your parents get older and things like that, that you're not responsible for them, you are. You are responsible for them. Even it may not be on a daily basis, it may not be on a domestic daily basis, but like when it comes to their financial situations, issues, because you don't want your parents to end up on the street. Like, you don't. You don't want them to end up. So now you got to make a choice. You either gonna have them come live with you so you can look after them, so you can take care of them, or put them in a nursing home and have someone else look after them, take care of them. But then that cost, or if they had a good savings, which, let's be real, some of our parents didn't make good financial choices and decisions. So like, they may not be able to afford to have a travel nurse come to the home and help them with little things around the house that they need help with. So it's like there's so much that you have to be concerned about and worried about when you become of an adult. Like, you can't keep thinking childishly like a legacy. And what is the legacy exactly? It can't be just your fucking last name. It just can't. I'm sorry. Like, it can't. What is your actual legacy? And then another thing too, education used to be a legacy. Education. Let's be real. Education used to be a legacy. It's no longer a legacy anymore. They're literally taking that from us. So again, what hope? It used to be a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, hell, a doctoral degree, a white coat, like all of these things, a nurse. Like, that used to be a legacy. But you don't understand that people are out here like really fucking struggling. Nurses, I never thought in my lifetime that I would see nurses, doctors struggling. Ever. I never thought in my fucking lifetime that I would see people who work for the government. Because I grew up thinking if you had a government job, that was job security. That was job security. You had a job. You could literally get a job anywhere. That's not the case. So when y'all say legacy, what the hell are y'all talking about? Like, it's not education. It's not career anymore. Like, it's not even let me have this child to make the world a better place. What legacy are y'all talking about? Seriously. And I'm not even saying you have to agree. I really want to know, like, what is the legacy now? Because I'm all about being hopeful, but I don't want to be delusional. You know what I mean? Like, we talking about bringing a child into the world. You know, I want to be hopeful, but I don't want to be delusional. That's what it is. That's really what it is for me. And then men are like, women are so emotional, they're not logical. Well, here's a woman being logical. Can you explain, like, what is it? They're trying to widen the wealth gap. So if I do have a child and they come here, the legacy is you're either going to be poor or rich. When they become an adult, like that's their choice. You're either gonna be poor or rich. And then people are like a healthy family. How can you have a healthy family in this economy? They're making it harder every day. These corporations, the layoffs. We all know that when it comes to having a healthy family in this system, financial stability is priority. We already know that what breaks up marriages is finances. So again, like I really think people believe in this American dream that they have sold you to make you believe in a system that keeps you enslaved with debt, to have you believe in a legacy that, like, well, again, what is the legacy? And it's sad. Like, I've literally watched like people break their backs to get through school. I've literally watched people sacrifice just to make it through college. I've literally seen like people get their bachelor's, go back, get their masters, creating that legacy for themselves just to end up in the same spot. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that is insane. And then another layer to this too. This is just me being honest. I'm a black woman. I would be a black mother. I wouldn't just be a mother. And one thing I've learned in adulthood, probably starting as young as 18 years old, because I grew up in a predominantly white community, I had a lot of white peers coming up. And I quickly learned that our experiences in adulthood are going to be vaguely different. I noticed it right out of high school, going into college my freshman year. They didn't struggle. I did. I immediately struggled. I immediately felt adulthood right at 18. They did not. So I'm going to be a black mother. I'm not going to be a white mother in America. I'm going to be a black mother. That shit is heavy. That's not no cakewalk. That's not no walk in the park. Like, even right now, if I had a kid in college, I would be so fucking concerned. Like, scared. I would be calling my kid with anxiety, like every day, checking in on him. Like, are you good? Are you safe? Are you this? Are you that? Because we seeing are y'all watching what's going on these college campuses? Like, are y'all checking in with y'all kids? Cause I be checking on them like every 30 minutes. They be like, "Mom, I'm fine." I'm like, "Are you? Do you want to come home?" Like, literally. And the reason is because of the world. Like, when you choose to have a black child, that is an experience in itself. Like, seriously, I'm not delusional about these things. And see, what men are mad about is women stop being delusional about these things. We have too many examples. We have too many examples. I will never forget when I got my lipo, the nurse that was giving me my massages, she had a little boy. And he was in elementary school. He was only like 5, 6 years old, started kindergarten. He came home from school one day and said, "Mom," and he's talkative and he's a little advanced for his age, and so he's just expressing himself about, yeah, they had us do a mass shooting drill at his school. They did the drill where they have to go into the bathrooms, go into the stalls, and stand on top of the toilet and duck. And the teacher is locking the bathroom door. 5 years old. And she was telling me how her mother went and bought this like this bulletproof, and I'm not even exaggerating, y'all. This is a real life story. Bulletproof, because I'm a childless woman trying to decide what decision I'm gonna make, right? A bulletproof backpack from Amazon, and it's huge. Like she said, the way she explained it like it's big. And he straps it across the front, not his back, the front. And you know how kids, if you were a kid and you used to play around with your backpack and you used to strap it around in the front just to be different or to be cool, you've seen kids like that. So now they're making the backpacks where you can turn it around, strap it on the front of you, and it's a bulletproof vest backpack. Like, this is the legacy. Like, this is what y'all talking about. And like, I wish I could, like, I wish I was making this up, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why are we normalizing that? A 5-year old. He just started school. He's 6 now. That was like last year. But I'm saying though, like, I'm just like, that's crazy, y'all. So when y'all say legacy, and when y'all make it about yourselves, you're gonna be alone. We all gonna be alone. We gonna die alone. That's just the truth. It literally doesn't matter. Like my grandfather, it showed me that life is very unpredictable. It can go a lot of different ways. But my grandfather, he had dementia. We had to put him in a nursing home, not because we wanted to, but because we had to. It was a decision that we had no choice but to make. He was in there by himself. He wasn't with his wife. He wasn't with his kids. He wasn't surrounded around his family. He had to go into that facility because it was getting worse. And I'm pretty sure when he was out here working, breaking his back and providing for his family and things like that, I don't think he ever thought that he was going to end up in a place like that alone. But unfortunately, that's what happened. And he was a married man. He died a married man. He died a family man. He had 3 kids. He still ended up in there alone. Like that was just the unfortunate situation. We didn't have no choice. So it was like one of those things where it's like life is too unpredictable. Like you're banking it on this or you're banking it on that. And you don't even know if your life is actually going to be able to go that way. You don't know how your life is going to go. Like that's just the reality. So there are no guarantees. And a lot of you are making choices and decisions, lifelong altering choices and decisions with so many guarantees. Again, that's delusional. That is delusional. The way I see life is you can get married, be in love, and it be like that for the rest of your life. You can get married, be in love for the first 3 years of your marriage and not be in love. You can get married, be in love, and then divorce. You can get married and stay married. You can have kids. They grow up to be healthy adults. You can have kids, two grow up healthy and decent adults, but that one, strange. I can't believe that's my child. Like, you don't know how life is gonna go. Like, there's like people really fall for that. It's a gimmick. You don't know how your life is gonna go. The only thing you can do is strap in and go along for the ride. That's it. That's all you can do is strap in and go along for the ride. That's it. And learn through the experiences that life gives you. Like y'all really be thinking y'all got some type of control. It's delusional. It's delusional. The only thing you have is free will. You don't have control. You have free will. I'm not delusional about these things. So when I talk like this, it makes people uncomfortable because I'm not feeding you a gimmick. I'm not feeding you a fantasy. I'm being real with you. Like that's it. And they're not going to be real with you because, when they're not real with you, they sell you a gimmick. What are they doing? Taking advantage. I'll never forget. My brother told me that his boss started taking advantage of him right after he found out that he had a daughter. So started treating him differently, like, oh, you need this job now. That's the system. Oh, you gotta come to work now. Like, started treating him like shit. Like, just started talking to him like any type of way. Felt like he could do anything to him after he found out that he had a daughter. Y'all better wake the hell up. Like, y'all need to wake up. Y'all do. Like, don't fall for the gimmicks. You need to be logical. And at the end of the day, y'all, I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way. I feel like it's just a choice. You have free will. I'm exercising my choice and it bothers people. I don't know why. This is my life. This is not yours. This is my shit. I'm accountable and responsible for my shit. You're accountable and responsible for your shit. You have choices and decisions that you can make for your life. I have choices and decisions that I'm going to make for my life. That's it. But I'm just like, damn. So when it comes to you making a choice and decision, don't fall for the gimmicks. I feel like when you choose to make that choice and decision, whichever one it is, because like I said, I don't really feel like there's a right or wrong choice or decision. Just make sure you're willing to deal with everything that comes with it. Because a lot of times we only like to focus on the pros, we only like to focus on the good, and that's it. Like, prime example, right? Motherhood. I just talked about how it's a lot. And I know it's a lot, right? But if I was to go into motherhood, I made that choice, right? And I'm already preparing myself that the newborn phase will be a love-hate relationship. Why? Well, mentally, I'm like, I have a beautiful baby, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm not getting much sleep. And I'm going to speak that I have a supportive partner over my life, right? I'm thinking like but I'm exhausted, right? I'm still willing to show up for my child because I decided that when I made that choice and decision, that I was going to put up with everything that came with that choice and decision, that I was going to deal with whatever came with that choice and decision. My child gets sick, my child gets a disease, my child has a special needs. Whatever comes with me making that choice and decision to have that child, I'm willing to deal with whatever comes with it. Doesn't matter what it is. So a lot of people make choices and decisions and only thinking that it's just going to go this one way. And you're not considering like all the other possibilities. But when I make that choice and decision, I consider it all. I'm going to consider everything. So, and it's because when you are a woman and you go to make that choice and decision, you can't just consider just the pros. You can't. If you do, then you're just setting yourself up to fail because you're not really preparing yourself mentally for what you're choosing for yourself. So when we talk about the kid thing, like I said, I don't feel like I'm not here to say women shouldn't have kids. I'm not here to say women should. It's your choice. I don't feel like it's a right or wrong answer. You may find purpose in having kids. You may find it. I don't know. Like, life is interesting. Life is different. Who's to say that I won't find um purpose in having kids 2 years from now? That's life sometimes. What I'm saying is when you make that choice and decision, you got to consider all of these things. Like, you really do. You got to consider the school. You got to consider the food. You got to consider their health. You got to consider any learning disabilities that they may have, development disabilities that they may have, like child development, like they may be behind or they may be ahead or they may be nonverbal. Are you willing to deal with everything that comes with it, though? And that's when you can say, I made a choice and decision that I will be happy in. But if you come in with this narrow thinking where you're only focused on the gimmicks and you're only focused on the good times and you're only focused on if things are always going well and going the way that I want them to go, then you're setting yourself up for failure. So that's my point. Like, I can point out all of these things, right? And I do believe that sometimes you can find purpose in darkness. I do believe that. I do. I believe that you can find purpose in darkness. I believe that you can find purpose in chaos. I believe that you can find purpose in things that may be confusing to some. I do. So even with my opinions with children and me talking about kids, I do believe that some people can still find purpose in it. I do. It could be religiously, it could be spiritually, it could be a lifestyle, like it, whatever. Like I do feel like people can find it. I just haven't found that. That's just me being real with myself. I haven't. I've seen more. Woo, I don't know. Then I've seen like, okay, like, let me go through this. Like this seems like a good thing. I just haven't seen it. I just haven't. And the rapture talk on TikTok is not helping. Okay, we in our last days. That ain't helping. That ain't helping. And then this is another thing too. When people project fear and negativity into the collective, do you not understand what you're doing to people? Like, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, because it's so crazy how people be like, we in our last days, repent, repent, we in our last days. And then they leave a scripture, right? And then be like, why are you not having kids? The rapture is coming. The rapture is coming. Repent today. Repent today. Why are you not having kids? I'm just like, listen, y'all. And that's what I'm saying. Center. Center yourself. Focus. Literally. Focus. And family be doing that now. Like, they'll send you all this doomsday ass content about what's going on here. It's politics, celebrities, it's the government doing this, a bill or a law or policy, something was changed, and then be like, when you have kids. So then and y'all, I'm arrogant sometimes. I can be. I go to my phone. I'm like, you see this? You sent me this on Tuesday. You saw it? Yeah, that's what you decided to send me. You decided to send me this video about the government shutdown. Yeah, and then on Wednesday, you decided to send me this about the Chicago ice raids, which we're gonna talk about that later. Like, I just go through my phone and I'm like, did you see this? Did you see how you reposted this on Facebook? You gave this outlandish opinion. I just started bringing this shit up. Like, you see that? You see that? Why are you asking me stupid questions? Like, why are you asking me dumbass questions like that? Like, people will literally send you the most worst news, right? To the point where you feel the need to silence them, and then like they be like, "Why are you not having? Are you sending me any inspiration during the day, or are you sending me anything that would make me feel like hopeful during the day? Or are you just sending me nothing but negativity about the world and where it's at and where it's headed? Like, make it make sense." I don't understand it. Are you sending me another mass shooting report? Are you sending me the situation that happened in Michigan? Like, make it make sense, y'all. Like, I need, and this is why I be saying, I take people serious that are consistent. And the people that are not consistent, the people that are inconsistent, I don't take serious. How can you take yourself serious? It makes no sense. So you can't be sending me this and saying these things and then be like, oh, well, why are you not having kids? Make it make sense. Okay. I don't get it. Also, kids may resent you. That's true. But kids may love you. You don't know what you're going to get. Okay. It's like rolling the dice. Roll the dice and see what you get. You don't know what you're going to get. That's my point. But I'm telling you now, the hope, right, that a lot of women used to use to make their choice in motherhood purposeful are being ripped from us, potential new moms. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, the hope that women used to cling to. This is why the birth rates are down, by the way, because this is not just a me, 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 me. No, a lot of American women, married American women feel this way. The hope that women used to cling to and believe in, right, is being ripped from us. It's the reason why we're not having kids, y'all. It's not because we hate men and it's none of that. It's like, what hope, like for me to make this choice and decision over my life, what hope can I like really cling to? I don't feel like there is any. I can't really name one. Like, as a black woman too, you got to understand, like, I'm seeing, it just seems like everything is just going backwards. They're making all of these changes, like affirmative action. Like, that shit's crazy to me. So I'm just like, so all of that was for nothing? Like, all of what my ancestors fought for, what black people fought for during the civil rights movement, like, that was all for nothing? Then they're trying to erase our history? So it's like, y'all got to understand, like, why women in America, because I can only speak for women in America, feel this way. Seriously. And then the Congo and the Sudan genocide that's happening. That's not being talked about. And you want to know why that's not being talked about? You want to know why that's not being highlighted? It's because non-black people are conditioned to see and to normalize black people suffering. That's all it is. So like a genocide in Congo and Sudan, like that's like, and I'm like, no, the fuck is not. What is literally the difference? Can someone explain to me what's the difference? But again, children, you want me to bring children, a black woman, to bring children into this system, into this world, because this systematic racism that we experience as black people is motherfucking global. Because, like, why? I just find it very interesting. Like, I see more Palestine stuff than I see anything. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't be seen, but do y'all see the difference, though? Why is no one talking about that? Why is everyone just talking about this? And I'm like, and it's because I came to the realization that as black people, as black people, our suffering is normal to them. It's normal to them. It does not trigger them. It does not bother them. Like, it's normal to them. But when the person is of a lighter complexion, it triggers them. It bothers them. It scares them. But when it comes to us, nothing. And I noticed that. And I'm just like sick to my stomach. So again, it's like the hope as a black woman, like, please understand where I'm coming from. But I know some of you are not. You're not going to try to understand where I'm coming from because you don't really care. You probably want to see me miserable in motherhood anyway. You don't want me to enjoy it. You just want me to be a mother so that I can be miserable in it. But I'm being for real. Like, my kids coming into this system, they're black. And like, their suffering is, it doesn't matter to people. Like, if they ever suffered, majority of people wouldn't care. It's just crazy. And then like, I need black people to understand that we're not like that. Like, we're not like that. Like, we're not like, we consider everybody. We're always considering everybody. We want you to be good, you to be good, you to be good, you to be. We're principled people. That is what we are. Like, I learned, because I learned that I'm Blackfoot Cherokee Indian, and I learned that the reason why my ancestors lost was because they wouldn't do things like, in the winter when they were at war, they wouldn't do things like try to starve out a whole community of people just to win a war. They didn't believe in attacking the innocent. They didn't believe in that. They didn't believe in unaliving women and children, touching women and children. They were too principled. That's the reason that they lost. They didn't believe in committing a genocide. They didn't believe in none of that. And you know what? Black people are the same fucking way. I have, like, of course you got those crazies. We all got those crazies in our communities, right? But it's not the majority. Like, the majority of black people, we all have that in common. We do. We'll take care of you even if we got a little attitude, because there's something in us that is telling us to spiritually. Like, seriously. And it is because we are naturally like this. Like, we naturally care. We naturally are just principled people. Like, that's just what we are. And so when we see suffering, it doesn't matter who's suffering, right? Like, we jump right in to help. We jump right in to advocate. We jump right in to assist. But man, when I tell you, it's not like that the other way around. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a damn. They don't give two shits. They only care about themselves. And we are not like that. Like, we care about everybody. We want to make sure everyone's good. We and I used to think that the reason we were like this was because of slavery, but this is why education is important and learning your history is important. We were never fucking like that shit. Not even before slavery. It's not in our blood, it's not in our DNA. We were not raised like that, and it was never there. It was never there. It just wasn't. Of course, we have a few bad apples in the bunch. There's always going to be a few bad apples in the bunch. We know there's a Judah. We know the Judas, right? But when I say we don't come from that, we don't come from that. We don't come from that. And I'm learning that. Like, the more and more and more and more and more I look into it, like, that was the reason we lost in history, was because we wouldn't stoop that low. We wouldn't starve a group of people. We wouldn't commit a genocide. We drew the line with that shit, and that's how we ended up losing. It wasn't because they were bigger, stronger. It was because we had principles. That's it. We had morals. There were just certain things we couldn't meet them there. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So that's how we ended up in the situation we ended up in, and that's why we have the history that we have. Just so you know, just so you know that that's actually what it comes down to. It wasn't because we weren't capable. It was because we weren't willing to stoop that low. And that's just the reality. So to see, and this is why, like, honestly, like, it's hard for me not to be an angry person. Can we be real about that? Black people have a lot of things to be angry about. We do. And unfortunately, till this day, because it's not in us, we still don't stoop to their level. And we deal with racism damn near on a daily basis. So it's a lot. And if I was ignorant, right, I probably would just go out and just carelessly have kids. But it's like, I've educated myself, I've worked on myself in a lot of different ways, and I see the world differently than when I used to. I used to be super naive, and I used to just be focused on desires and fantasies and dreams and things like that. But, like, the world took me, okay, in the beginning of my adulthood, took advantage of me, and I can't unsee certain things. So I'm just very hesitant about certain things, and I'm just like, and then, like, again, I would feel so differently if I felt like the world was still actively working towards becoming a better place, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like it's working against us who want to make the world a better place. And then this is the thing that's, like, really, like, rocking my world. My own parents feel defeated. That shit hurts. To where my dad is on some, and I've never seen him like this. My dad is on some eat, love, pray, travel. I'm not working until I'm dead. I'm a eat, love, pray, travel. I'm a travel with my wife. I'm gonna take her here. I'm gonna experience this. We doing this and we doing that. Because he's coming to the realization based off of the world changing on him, moving the goalposts as a almost 60-year-old black man. He's coming to the realization that they moved the goalposts. I had been working my ass off, providing for my family, doing this, doing that. And then they moved the goalposts. Fuck it. I'm about to go live my life with my wife, experience the world, and travel. Fuck it. Fuck it, fuck it, fuck it. I'm not about to be loyal to this job. This job is not even loyal to me. And then there's no guarantee, right? There's no guarantee. So he's on this live now, live now, live now. Like, don't wait. Live now, live now. Because they moved the goalposts on me. So if they move the goalposts on me, they're going to move the goalposts on you. So you better live right now. You better live while you can. Don't be living in fear. Don't be living in waiting to wear your good clothes. Wear it now. Wear it today. Don't be waiting to take that trip. Take it next week. Don't be waiting to take off. Take off now if you want to. He literally shifted his whole mind off of, he watched them move the goalposts and he's like, oh, they moved the goalposts. I'm about to go live my life. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that. So it's not even just a me thing. Like, it's not. Like, he's almost 60. He's about to be 60 this year, this next year. And he's just shifting his whole mindset. So it is what it is. And my mom is slowly adapting, but he's the one like really pushing it. Like, no, we need to do this. We need to do that. Like, they're traveling. They are taking my niece on trips sometimes. Like, my dad took my mom to Niagara Falls. Like, and then he just wants to see the world. Like, he does. He just wants to see it all. He just wants to see it. Because he felt like he wasted so much of his time trying to be who they said he needed to be as a black man in this system and as a black woman in this system to have success and to live this American dream, all for them to move the goalposts at 60. And the same thing happened to my mom, but like spirit led her to retire before this new administration because she used to work for the government. She was an accountant. And God came to her and spoke to her and said, you need to retire this year. This is your last year working. My mom wanted to work 2 more years. She wanted to work two more years. And she threw in the towel because Spirit told her, I need to retire. She didn't want to work for this new administration. Could you imagine my mom still working for the government and dealing with all of this stuff, being laid off and it being shut down and everything? She literally retired right at the election. So like, they didn't just move the goalposts for the black man. They moved the goalposts for the black woman too. Because the only reason why she was hired was because of affirmative action, right? Well, they don't want that anymore. They're removing all of those programs. So my parents feel defeated, and I've never seen them like this, and it's scaring me because I've never seen my parents feel defeated. Like ever, 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 not in my lifetime. Never. They've always told me go stronger, go harder. They feel defeated to the point where, and it's not defeat in the sense of life, it's defeat in the sense of what they thought success was going to be and what it was going to look like, which was the American dream. They feel defeated with that, but they don't feel defeated in life. They're shifting into, we gonna live our lives. So that's just where they're at. And like, I've never seen my parents like this ever. And that's what's scaring me because I'm just like, wait a minute, wait a minute. If y'all are feeling this way, I still got a little more to go. Like, I got a little ways to go before I even get to where y'all are at. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, it just really be having you looking at life differently. Like, damn. So I know millennials and Gen Zs, Gen Xers too. We like, should we be responsible when it comes to retirement? Like, what should we do? And then like the baby boomers, and you know how the baby boomers are. They're very strict, they're stern, they're by the book. My parents are not by the book anymore. Like, not with nothing, y'all. They are not about that by the book, by the book. I was raised by the book. Old school, by the book, by the book, by the book. They are not on that no more. They like, get that book out of my fucking face. I don't want to see that book because it's bullshit. That's what they're saying. That's what they saying. That's literally what they saying. They found out the Bible was whitewashed. Get that book out of my face. Get that King James version out of my face. Let me make myself clear. King James. Like, get that shit out of my face. I don't want to see that. So I don't know. Like, they're trying to find sovereignty in this space of them moving the goalposts. That's just all it is. So it's interesting. So when we have this conversation, understand there's a lot of layers to it. It's not simple. And it's the reason why I say I don't feel like there's a right or wrong decision. I feel like it's all about free will, and life happens too. I feel like if you get pregnant and it happens, it was meant to happen. That's what I think. I think that I truly do believe that. I do believe that there is purpose in children. I don't want to make it seem like there's no purpose. It's just, like I said, to openly make that choice, because I believe in planning for kids. I don't believe in just having them. I believe in planning for kids. I'm like, what hope am I supposed to gravitate towards? And then I expect for my parents to push back when I say, I don't know if I want to have kids anymore. They're not pushing back. Like, they're like, I understand. The fuck is going on? So it's like, again, like, it's so much deeper than it's so much deeper than hating men. Like, that's not what it's about. The world, I know this world likes to make everything about men and everything is centered around a man, but sometimes it ain't even about y'all. It's just not. It's not about y'all at all. But let me log out. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day. Aisha Curry she's not wrong. I think y'all just don't want to hear a woman's truth that isn't centered around worshiping a man and being everything that a man needs and wants, and she just sits there and she's in the background and she's just loving it. Like, just like as a man, you want your own career, you want your own thing, and you never have to worry about giving that up. There are women out here that want the same thing. I don't think that makes them a bad person. So y'all enjoy the rest of y'all's day.